Alright dude, it's not even E3 time and things are getting spicy. So with all of the leaks, all of the coverage, all of the rumors, Nintendo's showing at E3 this year looks to be shaping up to be one of their best shows. A lot of people will go out on a limb and say it's the sequel to the E3 2019 show, which I thought was amazing. And among other titles such as The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Super Smash Bros. DLC, and the possibility of Bayonetta 3 along with Metroid Prime 4, another huge game that seems to be very grand in scope, but when they showed us the first trailer, it had me a bit worried to say the least, and that is Pokemon Legends Arceus. As Pokemon and Nintendo would describe it, it's a bold new direction that a lot of people like to call The Legend of Pokemon Breath of the Wild, and for good reason. And honestly, I'm in love with the concept, but from the video they first showed us when it comes to debuting its gameplay, it seemed very rough. So much so that I wouldn't be mad if they decide to delay the game in order to shape it up, polish it up, and make it truly the grand adventure that it envisions to be. However, we did get the release date, or I should say a release window, of early 2022. And to me, I'm like, that's way too soon. But then today, Nintendo and Pokemon just decided to drop the true release date, and when they meant early 2022, they meant it. Pokemon Legends Arceus is set to release January 28, 2022, at the end of the first month of the year. Now, this release date has me in quite of a quandary because I've been seeing people online on social media both complain and herald in this release date, saying that they can't wait to play the game, while others are saying it's way too soon, they should delay it, and that people complained about those complaints. But you gotta understand, from me on the outside looking in, from that first trailer, I'm pretty sure it's unanimous decision that it looked hella rough. It looked insanely rough. Like I said before, I'm in love with this concept and I want this game to be the best new direction of Pokemon that it can be. It would be a real shame for this game to release and it's very clunky, unpolished, and it doesn't run correctly or it doesn't run as well as a Pokemon game should. And for this to be the first in a bold new direction that is a great direction that I would like to see them continue in the future, it would be insanely bad for them to botch their first outing in this. But at the same time, if Nintendo and Pokemon are confident in releasing this title in January 2022, that could be possible that the immense amount of money, resources that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo have pouring into this game could have been enough to suffice a rapid game development that will be so much better once they show off a new trailer, possibly at E3 show. And honestly, if we get another trailer in which we see the gameplay, the game running a lot better, a lot smoother than what we saw from the first trailer, that would put me, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone else at ease. And I'll be so down for a January 28, 2022 release date. And of course, we did get the confirmation of the release date of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl for November 19th of this year. But with the release of this information, as a Zelda fan, I really have to ask myself and wonder, what is the release schedule for some of Nintendo's hard-hitting games? And when I say hard-hitting, I'm obviously meaning Pokemon Legends Arceus and that of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. If we got the release date confirmation of January for Legends Arceus, what does that mean for Breath of the Wild 2? We've seen discussions behind the scenes talking about possibly having the game released early 2022 or late 2021. And the reason why I bring this up is because it's obvious that both Breath of the Wild 2 and Legends Arceus are going to be grand in scope games, gigantic. And the closer these two titans of games release, the more likely they are to cannibalize each other in terms of sales and disposable income. And that gives me a very big window to understand when Breath of the Wild 2 can possibly release in relation to Legends Arceus. If Breath of the Wild 2 were released in November, around the time of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, I don't think that'll be that big of a deal because they are indeed remakes that are being outsourced, and we already know the scope of those games, them being remakes. And that will give a nice 2-month period between the release of Breath of the Wild 2 and Legends Arceus. But then we also have to think about that monkey wrench in the gear that is Age of Calamity DLC Round 2 that's coming out in November. And at the same time, if this isn't the case, then Breath of the Wild 2 could possibly be released in spring of 2022 in order to give enough time for sales of Pokemon Legends Arceus to germinate and find their calling. But I want to know what you guys think about this release date reveal of Pokemon Legends Arceus and what it could mean for Breath of the Wild 2. Things are getting spicy and I cannot wait for E3 this year. It's all starting June 12th. So until then, I hope you subscribe to HMK to keep up with all the awesome Nintendo and E3 news and updates. Like the video and share and hit that bell to know when they go live. Big thanks to my Patreon supporters for helping making this video happen. If you want to find out how you can support HMK for just $1 a month, check out my Patreon info in the description box below. Alright guys, until the next video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.